Hello there everyone and welcome to the Gummy channel. Thank you for clicking on the video, and today I am going to be breaking down my thoughts on Season 11 and what the impact is going to be on both competitive and just the game itself. I think it's going to be a major update when it officially comes out. Now, we are technically still in preseason, mind you, but all the items are here. Mostly everything that's going to be in the season is already out. And to be totally transparent here, this is my first season ever playing League of Legends, so if you're coming here for like professional analysis, this is not what this video is going to be. It's just going to be me breaking down my thoughts on what the season is going to be bringing us in the future. Now, one thing to note here is that I didn't script any part of this video. This is literally just me basically rambling about this. As you can see, I've got some echo gameplay going on in the background with the new items, and you know what? Let's jump right into it. Okay, so obviously the major change with preseason 11 is the item system, and I think that is all on the forefront of our minds. Forget about all the jungle camp changes, even though I'm a jungler. Let's look at all of the new items and all of the changes that are coming to them. So to start it off, we've got the mythics. Now, the mythics are basically, pretty standard for Riot. To be totally honest, I know a lot of people hate them, and a lot of people think they're way too overpowered, but if you ever look at how Riot really balances its games, it balances games through making everything overpowered. You know what I mean? They don't balance stuff through making it balanced and having everything be normal. Like, just take Aphelios for an example. That dude is literally the definition of 200 years, and yet he's still in the game, even though he did get hard nerfed, but he still is overpowered if he gets super fed and everything. So, I know I'm rambling here, but basically what I'm trying to say is Riot Games does not balance stuff off of balance. They balance everything off of everything being overpowered, and as long as everything is overpowered, then nothing is overpowered. It's a weird thing that I'm trying to convey here, but I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. If not, just leave a comment down below and I can explain it a little bit more in depth. But I think that this new item system is actually really cool. I think it's going to give us a ton of new opportunities for like different itemization builds, because in the past it has typically been like one build that you go for a champion. Like Warwick, you're just gonna go with a Tiamat typically, and then you're just gonna go into like armor or magic resist. You're not really going to be seeing any one-shot Warwick builds. I mean, it is a pretty cool build, don't get me wrong, but a lot of the builds are pretty standard. Like for Echo, take him for example. You always build your Poto Belt first, then you move into a Lich Bane after getting your Sork Pen shoes, and then you know what? You can do a little bit of item change from here and there, but the base item build is pretty standard. Now, with the new mythics, this I think is going to change everything up a ton. Now, the reason for that is the different passives and actives that all of the mythics have. For example, if you're an ADC going into, let's say a Cho'Gath and a Zac on the enemy team, you are probably going to be building Kraken Slayer, considering you're going to need that extra damage against those tanky champions. Now, if you're going into an all squishy team, then you're going to want to build one of the other mythics. I honestly forget their names, but I know that there's some that do a ton more single target damage instead of just melting tank. So I think a bunch of these are going to totally depend on what game you're in, what the playstyle is on the map, who's fed, who is looking good, what lanes are winning, what lanes are losing, if your jungler's complete trash like me, or any of the above. I think this season is going to be a lot more focused around itemizing your builds and actually making sure that everything is good to go. Now, along with that, I know I said I wouldn't really touch upon it, but I do want to look at the new jungle system. Now, obviously, I am a jungle main. For any of you that don't know, I just started playing League about at the beginning of last split. So at the beginning of the last split that started, I had just started playing the game. I said that in a really weird way, but basically I've only been playing for like a few months now, and I'm already gold 4 in jungle, considering the quarantine has, kind of given me a lot of time to play this game. But it's been going pretty well, and I think I've learned a ton. Just from wave management to jungle camp clearing to map awareness. I know I still have a ton to learn after watching Worlds and every single LEC game. There's so much to learn about this game, and that's why I love it. The skill ceiling is so high here that there's really no cap off, and I think the items are going to make that even better. Now, the reason I think the items are going to make the skill ceiling even higher is because you're going to actually need to know how to itemize even in lower elos. So, for example, in gold, you can get away with playing Warwick and only building Tiamat on him every game, going into a Titanic Hydra and then like a Spirit Visage with a Thornmail and a Deadman's. You will be fine as long as one of your lanes is winning. You can try and shove them ahead. They can carry the game. You can just tank for them. It's a pretty standard thing. I know I'm using Warwick for all my examples, but he used to be my main, so, you know, that's why. But getting back to the point I was on, the skill ceiling is going to be way higher because currently in lower elos, as I was saying, you can go standard build paths. But now you are actually going to need to adaptively build your item set. You're going to be wanting to be looking for like specific things in your games. For example, let's just take Echo. Now, if you need good gap close because the kiting on the enemy team, say they've got a Callista and a Vayne for some reason. Don't ask me why both of those are on the same team, but you have some person that decided they want to play Vayne top and that you are going to camp them just because they're playing Vayne top. Now, if you need to cover kiting really well, then you're probably going into a Hextech Protobelt or whatever the new thing is called. I don't even know the name of it, but that will allow you to close those gaps quicker and actually stop them from just infinitely kiting you. But let's say that they're all like, let's say not very good at kiting. Let's say they've got, say, I don't know, a Yasuo. I mean, I guess a Yasuo can actually kite. You know what I'm talking about. They're not great at kiting. Let's just say they're an immobile ADC like Jhin. Say you've got Jhin on the enemy team, and you know that you don't really need that gap close. You can now go into something more damage-oriented, like a Knight's Harvester, I think it's called? I'm not even sure. I'm still learning the names of all these mythics, but I think basically what I'm trying to say here, I know this is off script, so it's being a bit of a ramble at this point, but basically my thoughts on the preseason is that I think it's going to greatly increase the skill ceiling, especially in lower elos and higher elos where this can be used even more, and obviously I'm not in higher elo, so I don't know the impact it'll have there, but just based off of watching a bunch of different streamers and a bunch of different pro players, I think it will have an impact, and I think these item changes, while a ton of people hate them because it's something new and they're used to all their old items, I think it's really cool. I think it's a great system that they've implemented, and I think it's going to work out very well in the future. So these have been all my thoughts on Season 11. I know it's like an insane ramble here, and I'm just going on and on about the items and stuff, but if you guys want to see more of these videos of me just rambling, or just more League of Legends content, more like actual structured League of Legends content where I actually make a video and it's not just me talking about Season 11, leave a comment in the comment section down below, and I will gladly make another one of these videos, as League of Legends is currently my favorite game to play. But thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next one.